hiking down Bear Mountain in the rain. Having fun. Doing this for the kids after midnight on a Friday night. I don't care about going out dancing to a club or whatever. I'll do this. Much more fulfilling. Do this, try to do this for the kids, raise some money. And I've been encouraged to talk more about my kids. So I'll tell a story about my kids. How about that? As I go down the mountain. Everett was born in 1994. Austin was born in 96. And my ex-wife, Lynn, and I, we found out in 97 when we were married. We were still married till 2002. But anyway, our kids, we found out our kids had Duchenne muscular dystrophy in 1997. They did a muscle biopsy. Nowadays, I guess, from what I have learned, you only need to get a genetic blood test, genetic testing from blood, a blood sample. So things have advanced, and that's not too expensive comparatively. Anyway, so we found out, and I had no idea what was coming. Lynn did. Her brother died from Duchenne in 1982 when he was 15 and she was 18. So she knew what was coming. And around that time is when she was tested to see if she was a carrier. It's carried on the X chromosome through the mother. And she was told in the early 80s that she was not a carrier. But clearly the tests that were available in the early 80s and up through when we were married and had kids, well, actually the gene was found in 86, so if she had been tested after that, then she would have been shown to be a carrier of Duchenne muscular dystrophy, but she wasn't, because she was under the impression that she was not a carrier. So we had kids, and I'm glad we did. Love my kids. They taught me so much, and so I'm glad we didn't know, and anyway, my kids were born, and is that enough for a story? Well, yeah, I think I'll leave it at that for now. Next time I'll try to tell more stories. I really learned a lot. Let me just say one story. I've said this before, you may have heard it, maybe not, but one of the things I learned from my boys was contentment, and it's crazy how much acceptance they had of their limitations, of their disease, of their short life. It wasn't easy, of course, but they knew that they weren't going to have a long life, so around 2007-ish, 2008, Everett was about 13, I guess, and I asked him one time, just offhand, wondering, does he ever wish that he was able to ski? And right away so let me finish that story, the stories I started. I'm sitting here on a picnic table at the Bear Mountain Inn, taking a little break in my hike. But I was telling you about how Everett and Austin both had, just incredible contentment and acceptance of their fate. And hang on. And Yeah, I think this is a little better. Well, farther away. Um, so I asked Everett, um, like around 2007, 2008, if he ever wished he could ski. And he said, no, no, that would hurt. And, I didn't try to explain what I meant, and you probably know what I meant. Did he ever wish that he was able-bodied enough to be able to ski? But I didn't explain that. I just kind of sat there. No, I think I was standing. I was just standing there and just taking it in, what he was trying to say. What he was saying was he was fine with the way he was. And also, some backstory to it is a couple years before that, we had taken them over to Giants Ridge in Biwabic, Minnesota. This guy was doing some charity wheelchair skiing. They had like a wheelchair, with strap-ins on a single blade ski. And so Everett was about 10 years old, and Austin was okay with it once. Everett hated it because his muscles by even age 10 were so weak that he really did not, the bouncing, the bumping on the bumps on the snow on the mountain were not enjoyable for him. They hurt. His muscles were so weak. And so when I asked him, did he ever wish he could ski, I'm sure he thought of that no, he would not want to ski because it hurt. And so I was like, oh, I just backed off and took it for what he was saying. But to me, ever since, I've just been amazed at his contentment, and that's what he thought of. He was fine with not being able to ski. He accepted it, and just amazing. And then a few years after that, the year before Austin died in 2011, the three of us were in their mom's very small kitchen, and they were in their wheelchairs. I think I was making some lunch, or I can't remember, doing something in the kitchen. I think it was lunch. And I was talking about the Yankees because they had a big win the night before, and I was like, hey, Jeter did this or whatever. I love the Yankees, and I knew that they did not like baseball anymore because I was such a geek about it. And so Austin, just a card, just a real, he deadpanned. He said, Dad, I just don't get it why people want to run around in a circle just to get back to the same spot again. And we all just cracked up. I mean, Everett just belly laugh, and me belly laugh. And their mom was in the other room, and she heard it, and she just busted a gut too. It was just so funny. I just, and so really, me, I'm such a geek. The Yankees lost this year in the playoffs, and just the wild card round. So I'm hoping for a week, and still I feel bad that they're not still in the World Series, which is ridiculous. Does it really matter? Not really. And why do I get so bent out of shape about it? But Austin, he was like, yeah, they're just running around in a circle just to get back to the same spot. So, yeah. So both Everett and Austin had some unreal, heavenly contentment, and just amazing. Just really grateful that I got to be their dad. And I feel like I have a lot to give to those who don't have as much as we do and did for my boys with Duchenne here in America. So anyway, I'm going to get back to hiking, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you, Tammie, for encouraging me to talk more about my kids. Appreciate it. I love talking about my kids. I just don't, want to, there's really no excuse. So thank you, Tammie, for encouraging me to do so again. Bear Mountain Inn. Bear Mountain up there.